Sup everybody, this is Keldon Slumlord. I decided to put some content together for you here. There was a question posed about the smell of unlimited cards, and as I recalled opening a couple of unlimited starters in my youth, it was one of the more impressionable experiences of Magic the Gathering. You know what they say about all the different senses that we have, but smell is a strong one. And I found that if you take enough light played and near mint cards and put them back in the package, keep them there for a little while, open them back up, boy, it smells pretty darn close to the way it did when they were new, at least to the best that I can recall. Now, Amra had introduced the idea of a God pack, like we've seen with beta starters, and it occurred to me that my simulated unlimited starter cube here is very similar to that. So I thought maybe we'd have a little unboxing video and go through one of these God pack starters, if you will. Just imagine this were the real thing. And there we go. Let's grab one of these out of here. So, I had to collect probably about 6 to 7 times the number of cards that would go into a cube in order to get enough that were in the right condition to simulate a starter. But you can see I've got everything in there in the right way, including lands, a rule book, though there's a few surprises on the other side of that rule book that you wouldn't ordinarily find. Let's go ahead and put the rares and uncommons aside for now. And let's take a look what we got in this starter right off the bat. Look at that beautiful mountain there. Oh, you know what? We need to take a sniff. Yeah, that's the stuff. So, let's see, we got a mountain here. Nice swamp. Look at that island. That's my favorite island. I know what everybody says about the blue one. Look at that Mesa Pegasus. It's got banding, look out. Nice dark swamp. Another swamp there. Got a lot of basics in here, as it turns out. The whole cube is built to be balanced for a single color play. And as a result, you end up having to have a lot of basics in here just to be sure that there's enough to build your decks with. There's my favorite forest, personally. Look at those plains. I also tried to build it balanced so that there was enough removal as best I could per color. Disenchant there for white. Plague rats. I think there's a good chance there's more than 2 or 3 of these in this cube, with the intent of allowing a mono black player to put together a plague rats deck. Psychic venom. Nice, another island there. Twiddle. Holy armor. Look at how the graphics pop on that. Did you know that 1 in every 10 unlimited cards has even more saturation than the typical unlimited print? I found this after going through hundreds of these cards, and this is one of the darker ones. It's just so beautiful. Look at that dark island there. Everybody else's favorite. Oh, 2 mountains in a row with the same artwork. Something went wrong there. Creature Bond. Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Look at that, guys. He's got gills. He really can breathe underwater. Dark Swamp. Pearled Unicorn. 2 Pearled Unicorns. Okay, I gotta talk to whoever's in charge of randomization. You can actually see here the difference in saturation. This one is darker, has a darker print scent than the other one. There's just variation in the unlimited run. I'd love to have a collection of just the darkest prints. Samite Healer. This starter seems to be short on red and green spells. There's Flaked. Scathed Zombies. Wall of Wood. COP red with that extra deep saturation. There's a bolt for you. Look at that nice bolt. Never even got played. Something went wrong there, huh? This Dark Mountain and another Scathed Zombies. So then we get to the rule book. Uh-oh, I've spoiled the fun there. If you glanced ahead, I'll try to block it. But here's that unlimited rule book that came with the starter. And let's go and flip these over. We've got the rares and uncommons. Phantom Monster, 3/3 flyer. Ah, there's lands in the uncommon section. I told you it was simulated. Clone, yeah, like that. What do we have here? Berserk. That's a nice clean Berserk. It's got a few marks on the back. It's not perfect. Another island. Swamp. Goblin Balloon Brigade. Yeah. Camouflage. One of my favorites. I don't know why. The White Knight. Look at that. Are we getting into the rares now? No, not yet. There's a few more rares in this starter than you would expect otherwise. Not there yet. Wall of Air. Orca Shoreflam. Did you know that was restricted at one point? I just learned that today. Dark Plains. We must be getting into the rares now. Ah. Well, I guess I don't know. Is Helm of Chauncek rare or uncommon? It's certainly a rare beauty. Look at that. The power of banding knows no bounds. Crusade. Beautiful coloration on the unlimited version of that card. Deep red hues. A doppelganger. This one is particularly difficult to find. It turns out people who had Vesuvan doppelgangers in 1994, they played them on the sidewalk. This one looks pretty darn near mint to me. I should probably have that in a sleeve. Royal Assassin, another one. And this one is light play. Actually, the card is a little yellowed. I struggled to find one in better condition, and it has a slight mark on the back. But you know what? I decided to include it in there. Raging River. This becomes a lot of fun. These decks are balanced to have lots of creatures in addition to spells, and so this card should see some play in this cube. Cockatrice. I actually was teaching my wife to play Magic, and in her very first game, she managed a Cockatrice lure to take down all of my white creatures, and it tipped the scales and gave her the game. Disrupting Scepter. And now this is where we're going to have a little bit of a story. This is a force field. And this force field had some marks on it when I received it. Otherwise, it's in near mint condition. But what happened was when these cards were in the starters originally, they were placed right next to the rule book, and sometimes they stuck to the rule book. And so you could see artifacts on the cards from where they were located next to the rule books. This happened to Chaos Orbs as well. I've got an example in here. I did go in with a loop and an X-Acto, and I scraped off the black ink in favor of some white spots on the card, just because that was my preference. But I think it's a neat little piece of history. It's not a perfect card by any standard, of course, but you know what? It tells a story, and it's neat that it gets to sit in a starter right next to the rule book that gave it that special character 29 years ago. What have you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this little stroll down memory lane. Maybe we'll do another one someday, opening up one of these simulated starters from my personal unlimited starter cube. Thanks, everyone.